Hey everyone, I'm Soorya Ramesh.
And I'm Ravi, and you're listening to Two Brown Accents. Today we're going to be talking about road trips.
And before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ding.
Okay, road trips.
Yes.
Have you done any recent road trips?
Recent road trips, yes. I mean, we had one of our friends' birthdays and we went on a road trip to a staycation. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, driving to and from is still a kind of a road trip.
Yeah, that's a road trip.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question too. Like, what's considered a road trip? I feel like something that's more than a couple of hours, I want to say.
Yeah, I think even if you're driving to a destination, it's still a road trip, right? A road trip doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, we're on the road for a bunch of days. It's just like, you're on the road together. It's
also a good point. It doesn't actually have to be on the road, but it can be on a flight or something.
I mean, no, I'm going to keep road trips to the road. I feel like it has to be on the road.
Fine. Okay, number one question. How do you stay entertained on road trips?
Lot of games. You know, games are kind of tricky in road trips because you don't have the internet or you don't necessarily have access to the
internet. What are you talking about?
Plus or minus, right? You know, you might not get signal. You might
signal spotty.
Yeah, and you know, if you're playing a game, especially on the internet, then what happens is if the signal's spotty, you don't feel interested.
Yeah.
So it gets tricky. So you want to keep the games to something simple. You don't need the internet. You're kind of talking with each other, that kind of games. And I have come up with a few games for road trips.
By yourself, you made it up?
Nah, it's in research on the internet.
Yeah,
stuff like that. But one of the games is so have you? I think this is newly trending on the internet. But both of you say a word, and then let's say I say white and you say water, right? We just come up with a random word, and now we're both trying to connect that word into, and we're trying to say the same word at the same time.
Let's give the audience a preview of how to play it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
You go first.
We both say a word at the same time.
Okay. So it could be any random word right now.
It could be any random word right now.
Okay.
Okay, let's do.
3, 2, 1, time.
Okay, phone and time. Okay, I think I know the word. I think we're gonna get.
We'll see. 3, 2, 1, watch.
That was close.
Okay.
So we're trying to connect clock and watch now.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, analog.
Grandfather clock. I when you said 3, I wasn't thinking. I didn't have a word. And I was just panicking. And yeah, that's.
I think we're getting closer. Let's do one more time.
Grandfather and analog.
Yeah.
How I
They're both analog.
Sure. Okay. So don't say anything. We're not supposed to discuss.
Yeah, okay, my bad. One more time.
Grandfather and analog.
3, 2, 1, digital.
No way! I didn't think you were going to say. I didn't think you were going to say digital. I like how we just ignored grandfather completely, and we just went for digital for analog.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the aim of that game. So
it's actually more fun with more people, right? Because you had to volunteer yourself to play the next round.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, actually, yeah, you could do that, or you can also have 2 people do the entire thing. But yeah, this is always a fun game because you never know what the other person's gonna say, and it's always fun when you do connect it.
Yeah, and then sometimes you see outrageous words, right? It's like, how did you think about that, right?
I know, and yeah, the explanations are pretty funny. So that's one. Then there's
the classics. It's find different states' number plates.
There's that one. There's we've played Codenames when we
Codenames, yeah. Codenames is a good game to play anywhere, really.
Yeah, Signal is spotty, but if you have 6 people, I think Codenames you need minimum 6 people because Spy Masters can't really talk, and then you have 2 people in the team discussing with each other, guessing, and that's where most of the fun is.
Yeah.
So I think you need 6 people because if it's just 4 people or nobody's discussing.
And the nice thing about that game is that the driver can also participate.
Yes.
Because there's some games where only the people in the backseat get to play and on a phone or a board game or something. But then Codenames, you can get the driver to also participate. Right. He can't be the spy master because he doesn't know all the words. Yeah. But he can be one of the guessers.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Codenames was really good.
Yeah.
And I do remember the one time we played, we were on the same team with one more person. And you guys, whenever I was a Spy Master, you guys had so much friction. This was so much fun.
I mean, Codenames is the reason we became friends.
Codenames is the reason we became friends.
We'll dive into that story one day.
Another time, yeah. Moving on from entertainment.
There's more. I think, okay, this one time we took a family road trip to So I've been on road trips all across the East Coast. We were visiting my uncle in Connecticut.
Sure.
And I was driving, and when I get the wheel, I don't stop. I don't try to stop for many things, right? Because I'm like, I'm gonna get to destination as soon as possible.
You don't take any breaks.
I try not to, because I'm like, I gotta beat the GPS time.
I've seen you drive.
Yes, like we'll stop when we have to, right? Gas breaks or whatever, P breaks.
He does beat the GPS time significantly. Just putting it out there, but
yeah, but like I don't speed too much. I feel like I guess I'm still within the legal boundaries. By the way,
I'll let you talk about that. But yes.
But yeah, I mean, I never got a speeding ticket, by the way, that I've been convicted of. So like that should say a lot. And so that road trip to my uncle's place, I feel like the person who has the wheel gets to decide what is playing on the radio.
It's a tricky topic. I think
what I did for that road trip, actually, one of the more recent ones, is that I played an audiobook the whole time to there.
Your entire family was listening to the audiobook?
Everyone kind of slept, but my dad actually listened to it. By the way, it's actually a really good book. I think I recommended it to you before. It's Build by Tony Fadell.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a really good book.
Yeah.
It's not just for tech people too. Like my dad's not a tech guy, but he really liked it.
You forced him into
I forced him into it, but it like talks about career and whatever, and he really liked it.
Okay.
But I think at the beginning he didn't really like it. We had to like get into it. But when we get like chapter 3, chapter 4, he got really into it.
Okay.
So.
That's a lot of listening.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I love audiobooks. Listening to like in long road trips, that's what I like to do.
I think if you're driving by yourself, I guess even you can even go on a road trip by yourself, right? You're driving to a destination.
Yeah, you gotta figure out the vibe. Yeah, in that place, I kind of dominated the entertainment.
Yeah. Because I think I do think certain road trips, it's driver gets to decide. Certain road trips, I feel like whoever comes up with the song, just goes on.
You also did karaoke.
I was gonna say, you remember the time when we should talk about the different kinds of people in a road trip, because remember that one time we were on a road trip and you and me were heavily into karaoke.
Yes.
We were singing Taylor Swift. I know she's your favorite.
I mean, she has like a lot of good songs. So. You like a lot of her songs too. Let's be honest here. There's a lot of people who like Taylor Swift.
Sure. I mean,
a lot of people also hate Taylor Swift, but she became a billionaire for a reason. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I feel like I got a little defensive for a second.
And we were doing karaoke, and then the guys in front, they were discussing about stocks and like very serious stocks.
By the way, watch our previous podcast on investing.
Yes, they were more serious into it, and it was significantly longer. Yeah. And what other kinds of people are there?
And then there's people who like always end up sleeping.
Yeah.
Sitting back to seat on their phone or sleeping.
Yeah, just using their phone.
Or zoned out.
Just chiming in whenever required. When they listen to something interesting.
They heard like a keyword. They're like, "Oh, you're talking about cars?" Like, "Oh yeah."
Is there anybody else you can think of? I think these are like some of the more common.
Yeah. And then there's like different types of drivers too. Right?
The fast ones.
There's the aggressive ones. There's the fast ones. I feel like I'm more in the faster category.
If I had to guess.
My pet peeve is like people who drive below the speed limit.
Sure.
I had a roommate who we took a road trip once, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. It's in Oregon, and he was going below the speed limit the whole time. Like instead of getting to the destination in 4 hours, we got there in 5 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have been pulled over for going below the speed limit.
I feel bad for you. Yeah. I think 1 hour is a lot of time.
Yeah. And we didn't stop.
When the GPS gives you a time, unless or until there's traffic and you don't have a choice at all.
Yeah.
I definitely want to be on time. Plus or minus 5-10 minutes is fine, right?
Yeah.
But for a 4-hour to a 5-hour road trip is a lot of time. So
Let's talk about brakes.
I don't think we discussed drivers enough. No,
there's more fast drivers.
There. I don't know. Are there?
Let me think. So there's one that I just thought of right now. Like people who get distracted way too easily.
You mean like just turning their heads and?
There's that, but then there's also people who like can't multitask at all. Like you want to have a conversation with them because you don't want them to fall asleep and stuff. Sure. But at the same time, they will miss an exit. If you have a conversation with them.
People just keep driving straight. Yeah.
Like they get too into the conversation, and I'm like, we're supposed to take that exit. They're like, oh crap, I should have.
I think once a week I miss an exit, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta be cautious. I gotta, just in my normal driving.
Like for those people, I like pay attention to GPS more than they pay attention, even in the middle of conversation. I'm like 0.9 miles away. I'm like, you should probably get on that lane.
You said that to me yesterday.
I definitely said that to you. I know. You're like a little bit over there because you get too into the conversation.
Sure, I do. But you're not too bad. Yes,
because like I'm constantly looking at the GPS, at least for the ETA, right? I'm like, gotta make sure like I'm like on time. We're beating it,
We're almost over time, so let's do a quick 1 minute on breaks, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Breaks. When you're on a road trip, how often do you stop, or how often do you what do you take breaks for? For using the restroom, for having food,
snacks. And then there's EVs now, which you gotta wait 30 minutes fast charge.
Sure. I guess people with EVs usually plan their trip. They take food breaks and charge the EV at the same time.
Like on a road trip with the EV with some, like a cousin of mine. It's so much time wasted.
Sure.
They don't have a choice, so they have to live with it.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick between a gas car and an EV car for a road trip, I would pick a gas car.
Oh, now that we were discussing earlier about we were going to talk about cars, right? We were going to complain a lot about cars. It's okay. We're going to have to save that for another time.
We'll do a cars podcast.
I still want to talk.
We have a lot of opinions on cars, especially EVs.
Yeah. But yeah. Do you stop for anything else, or how often do you stop during a road?
I mean, like I said, I stop the bare minimum, right? I will stop to get gas. I have to. Don't have a choice there. And I kind of have to stop when someone has to pee, right?
Yeah.
But I make sure it's not too often.
There was one road trip I was a part of. We stopped to get snacks.
Yeah.
People peed.
Yeah.
Get on the road. Within 5 minutes, another dude is like, I want to pee.
No. I'm like, you should have went.
It was a 12-hour road trip. Road trip. Goodness. So we stopped another 15 minutes just so he could use the restroom.
No, I'm like, you pee in a bottle at this point. If there's no girls there, I will literally make him pee in a bottle.
I can see you do that.
Go in the back and do it. We're not stopping.
Okay, I think I probably stop maybe once every 3 years.
I'm kidding, by the way. I would stop. I'm not I'm not a monster.
Guys, I don't know. I wonder. Just be a little careful.
I don't want to smell it. So.
Okay, I think
we should wrap up. Wrap up. This is the length of this podcast this time. Like, share, subscribe. Also, send us any emails about future podcasts if you have any future podcast ideas.
2brownaccents@gmail.com.
Bye.
See ya.